stuck? Are you broke? If so, why? Why haven't you made any changes to live the life you want? It all comes from your daily habits, your routines, your thoughts, your actions. What's cool is that all of this can be changed quicker and easier than you think. Follow the steps mapped out in the habit formula and start to change your life today. Go to thehabitformula.com for more information.
Hey everybody, you know what time it is. It's lunchtime with the Habit Master. I'm your host, Dr. Stephanie Aldrich, and I help people change their bad habits. When you change your habits, you change your life. So all September long, every Friday is Famous Friday, right? And all during this month, we've been looking at people that have revolutionized the world. Just with their thoughts, with their observations of what they thought was reality, and in essence was just somebody else telling them what was real and what was not. Through these observations from these people, many more scientific discoveries and innovations have been implemented and have been explored. And during these last few weeks, I have been amazed at what I've learned, and I hope that you're getting something from these. It's just cool to do a little, history lesson, but to actually learn from these human beings, these people that are just like you and I, that had no technology, had no innovation like we do in modern days, but yet they've thrust us with their ideas and innovations into what we know today. So just think about it. You take a step back and you say, okay, I'm only one person, but what can I do that maybe somebody in the future can use, can explore, can prove my theory or my idea or my way of living is really a great way to live, right? And that's what all of this is about. It's not about me wearing a crazy Einstein wig or, talking to you in a funny way. It's about learning something. It's about, looking through previous generations and see what we can learn from them. We don't have all of these people. Not everybody is an Einstein or a Benjamin Franklin or a Charles Darwin. But the thing is, we all can be. If we explore our deep thoughts and observe the world and come up with, different ideas, different ways of doing things that isn't part of the norm, think of the possibilities. If an idea comes to you and you can't sleep on it, and you're like, oh my God, this would solve my problem at work or solve this issue that I'm having or whatever, explore that idea. Try to make it a reality. Think of how many people you could affect by that one simple idea, and think of the money that you could have, the future generations that you could help. I mean, it is amazing at thinking one person could really make a difference. So what we're talking about today is we're exploring the life of Galileo. Galileo lived in Italy between 1564 and 1642. Now, before I jump into that, make sure you guys grab a copy of the Habit Book Formula, because if you don't, you might not be able to follow along with me today. It's free. Go to thehabitformulabook.com and grab your free copy, okay? So let's explore Galileo. I couldn't remember really what Galileo did until I started studying him this morning, and it is amazing and blew my mind that one person could do so much for modern day science. Okay, so Galileo was an Italian. He was an astronomer, a mathematician, a physicist, and an engineer. He is considered to be the father of modern physics and scientific method. I mean, talk about a humongous designation for one person to have. You are the person that laid the groundwork, the foundation for like hundreds of years of exploration and scientific discovery. One person did that, and his name was Galileo. What did he do? I mean, I couldn't remember. I knew he had to do something with astronomy, and I just couldn't remember. What he was an engineer for the Italian army, and he was kind of in charge of, doing different things with warfare and trying to protect the Italian military. And what he discovered at the time, it was like 1609. At that time, they were really exploring optical lenses. And what he did is he took the optical lens and he made one of those little telescope things that, you always see the pirates doing, and they're like, "Harr," and they can see the ships off in the distance. That's what he did. He took those lenses and made it into a long cylinder, and what they did was they used it so that if the Italian fleet was out at sea, that they could see their enemy far, far away and could kind of react or get out of the way, or, they could position themselves so that they knew that the person was, or the other people were coming, right? And, so he got rid of that, invention, and he thought to himself, what else can I use this discovery for? And what he did was he started looking at the planets. And at that time, the Roman Catholic Church basically said that the earth is the earth, and everything around it, all the stars in that, are surrounding the earth. The earth is the center of the universe. And we, as God's creation, as God's children, are the center of the universe because we are, made from his image, right? When Galileo started messing with these little optical lenses, he discovered that if you put two optical lenses at a certain distance from each other, they created a magnifying power. So he developed that, he developed a huge telescope, and what he was doing was he was starting to look around at the different stars. It was kind of a famous thing back then to look up at the sky and take a walk with your honey and, look at how the stars moved. Now, some stars moved, very quickly, and some stars didn't. And it kind of got him thinking, well, why is it like that? And using his new creation, the telescope, he started observing and tracing what these different stars did. So what he discovered that Venus and Jupiter, first of all, nobody even knew that these were planets. They thought that they were just stars. They didn't even know what a celestial star was, right? Most stars are either something like the sun. They are a star. They're a burning entity. They give off, radiation and, all kinds of energy and all of that. But another thing that he discovered was not all the stars are stars. Some of them are planets. So he discovered Jupiter. He discovered that there were rings around Jupiter. What was this fuzzy, halo kind of thing? And he observed all of that. And, just think about it. Back in the day, the church ruled the land, and whatever those priests said, that's what was happening. Well, Galileo started forming different observations that totally went against us being the center of the universe. And what he discovered was, he noticed that Venus, at certain points during the year, that there were shadows being cast on it, and he couldn't see certain parts of the planet. So not only did he discover that there were other planets out there, but what he made from his observation was, because there's shadows, that means that that planet is moving and creating shadows, and not that it's stationary or that it's moving around us. And this was a huge thing. So he basically think of, your science project from 4th grade. Sun's in the middle, and all of us are rotating around the sun. That was him. He totally discovered that, way that the planets revolved around the sun and not the other way around. They thought, hey, the sun sits here, it goes down here, and that's how it goes. So it goes like this. But that's not reality. Reality is we're spinning all the time, and we're also rotating around the sun. So this was a big thing. He almost was killed and hung because of this discovery, because it went completely against what the Roman Catholic Church was preaching as 100% true. So this just totally blew my mind, and I thought, holy crap, one person discovered the starting point of space exploration, of the universe, of distant galaxies. Think of the Hubble telescope and all of these humongous telescopes that are all over the place that, we launch into outer space and actually, go and visit different galaxies and all of that. All of that technology came from one person's idea. All of it. One person's idea. And to think about that, to think about the implications that one person could really discover something that, multiple generations, hundreds and hundreds of years, and we barely know what anything is. We don't know how, really stars are formed. You have the Big Bang Theory, was it a bunch of, particles and, a big explosion because there was so much matter and energy coming together, and you have black holes and black stars and, all of this stuff that we're just barely discovering, all from one man, Galileo. The observations that he saw, he wrote in a book. It's called The Starry Messenger, and that book completely made him a rock star of the day, and that's kind of what put him into the father of modern physics realm, because he's the one that started all of it. So let's learn 4 things that we can implement from Galileo and his courage to observe what he was looking at and or of his surroundings, and actually recording what he found as he was observing things. Number 1 is one simple invention or idea. I'll just put idea because it doesn't have to be an invention. It can be an idea. Can lead to big things. Think about the possibilities here. Think of Steve Jobs, okay? He's competing with Microsoft, and, Microsoft's winning with all of their, Windows technology, all the software. And his vision was, wouldn't it be nice to listen to music and then later actually have a cell phone that basically has a computer in it, and then I'm going to blow it up a little bit bigger so we can actually see it, maybe watch movies on it, so I don't have to share a TV with you. We can watch all this stuff together and do some work on it and all this stuff. I mean, think about one man and one idea. I wouldn't even be talking to you today if it wasn't for Steve Jobs and the iPhone, because that's what I'm recording on right now. I mean, think about it. Think about Facebook. So Mark's in his dorm room, and he's like, he just wants to kind of build a community for, his class. And then people are like, well, why don't we do this to connect everybody. And now you not only have people connecting with people, you have corporations connecting with new customers, with current customers, with the world. One guy thought about connecting people together and saw the possibility. One simple idea, just like Galileo, it just blows my mind. I know for myself, I harp on habits, on habitual behaviors. Once I got a hold of this concept myself, it has completely changed my life. Everybody that's gotten the habit formula, go to thehabitformulabook.com and get it today. It's free. Why wouldn't you do it? When you actually realize that you can make a difference, that you can change other people's thoughts, cultures, communities, the way people live their lives. If that doesn't get you excited to be in this modern age and to keep working hard and to keep exploring your ideas that pop in your brain, like, where do these ideas come from? If that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what else it will, right? Those ideas, there's something out there that's giving you those ideas. Listen to them, explore them, try to make them a reality, because we as human beings need everyone's ideas to come to fruition. We need to make this place a better place. We need to increase our awareness of how we fit into, the cosmos and how we fit into Earth. We don't want to destroy Earth. There's so many things that, we want to hang around. We don't want to be like the dinosaurs and go away. And a lot of the other animals and species out there that, they can't survive in their environment. We want to make sure that we're exploring all of the opportunities, all of the ideas, and develop them so that humanity can keep going, okay? Number 2, he observed what was real, and he started to question what wasn't. When we're talking habitual behavior, let's say, habits come from doing the same thing over and over again over time. So it's repetition over time. Now think about anything in the world. The way we have, politics. You only have, really 3 or 4. You really have 2 main parties. So you have your Democrats and your Republicans, and then you have little ones, that are off branches of that, okay? But let's say Democrat and Republican. People fit themselves into one category or another. And the reality is, we're all intermixed. We all want a better United States. We all want to take care of our citizens, to, have people prosper and live a nice life, and to be free to explore all of the ideas and concepts that come into their lives. But the problem with thinking with old traditional cultures and status quo concepts is that some people, they live and die by them, and they don't entertain the possibility that something else could be the right answer. With Galileo, he started observing things with this simple little invention that he made, right? And started questioning from his observations, hey, you know what? The Catholic Church says this, that the earth was the center of the universe, that we are the center of the universe because we are made from, God's image, and da-da-da-da-da. And his observations, pure science, says no. That should blow your mind. That all he did was look at something and say, hey, that's really not what it is. Don't be afraid to see what is real and see what isn't. Observe things for yourself. Make your own opinions. Live your life according to how you want to live it. We are in a free country. You can live the way you want to live. You got to change your thoughts and you got to change your actions to do that. And you have to entertain the possibility that someone else's way really is a better way of living. When you do that, anything is possible. Okay? Number 3, one person can make a difference. So this goes along with one simple idea. It only takes one person. You know, think of Hitler, okay? Which is a horrible, horrible thing that has happened in modern day society. The fact that one person's ideas were so strongly supported that, you know, we were lucky as a civilization that there were enough of the other side to conquer that evil. Because think of what the possibility would be today if, you know, people did not stand up against that one person. So that one person is very strong, both good and bad. And I know the people that are watching me today, the reason you're watching me is because you want to do better. You want to improve yourself. You want to live a better life, something fun. Plus, I'm wearing a crazy wig, so maybe you just want entertainment too. Who cares? I love it. It's all good, right? But it only takes one person with one simple idea and observing what they're finding to be untrue versus true. And when you share that with the world, which is something you need to do, we all can benefit and we all can build from there, right? The foundation of modern physics was from one dude. Think of, 500 years worth of mathematics and experiments and observations and all the money and effort that's put into space exploration and trying to find another place, because we don't know how long our star is going to be around and our Earth is going to be around. We need to get control of our humanity and the civilization that we've built and try to explore other places. It's all come from one dude. I mean, it blows my mind when I was reading about him today. The last thing we're going to learn that I know we can implement today is ideas always come first. The iPad, the iPhone that I'm taping on today, it all started with one person, one simple idea, one thought, right? It has to come first, though. The idea, the thought has to come first. A lot of times it pops into our head, right? It's mysterious. We don't know why. We don't know what's putting it in there. But it comes into our mind. Our whole purpose is to then explore that idea. Can we make it work? Can we make it into reality? What can be done with that? Think of the possibilities of that. You have one idea. How can we implement it? How can we use it? How can we build on it? So your idea is your starburst effect, right? How can we use it over here? And then that goes off into a tangent, right? How can we use it over here? That goes off into a tangent. Maybe we think, hey, maybe we can use it there, but this doesn't really work. This probably doesn't work. This one probably doesn't work. But these guys are working. And working, and working, and working, right? I'm eager to find out what is going to happen with the iPhone. Steve Jobs hasn't been around now for, I don't know, has it been 3 or 4 years, right? And there hasn't been anything new from the iPhone except, we're making the camera better or the microphone's better. I could take, sharper images and, the design's a little better, doesn't break as easy, right? They're just improving one huge idea. But they haven't come up with any other ideas, right? Apple's probably not going to be around. Somebody's going to think of something in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, in the next 2 years. Who knows? They're going to start with one idea. It's going to be one person, and it's going to explode and revolutionize things. Might be 50 years. Who knows? But what today is like, it inspires me. What can I do? I just sent out a couple of envelopes to some podcasters to get habitual behaviors and how to change them, to get the habit formula out there to help their listeners. I'm going to be working the telephone this afternoon after we get done doing this and talking to radio shows. I want the message to be out there. Change your habits, you change your life. It is one idea, but it is a very powerful idea, and people are responsible for their lives. You're born a certain way, but that doesn't mean you have to live a certain way. If you don't have money, there's plenty of money out there. You have to go get it, right? So 4 ideas that we can learn from Galileo, from this one person that totally changed and revolutionized the way we were thinking about us and the role, the place that we have in the universe. Okay? So I want you guys to think big, to take that little tiny voice that you hear all the time, right? And instead of ignoring it or, that's just a dumb idea, explore the idea. Because, yeah, sometimes you're going to get ideas that, they're not going to do anything. But all you need is one. And we need you. We need your help. We need your ideas to help us solve problems that we have in modern day society. Because for us to get to the next level, we need to solve the problems that we have today. And that only takes one person and one idea. So think about these 4 things. You have a simple idea that can build a foundation for anything. You have observation of what is real versus what isn't. Observe the status quo of political and cultural and social ideas that are out there, of physical objects. How can they be used a different way? Is that the purpose? How are we living our lives by those ideas and things? Is there a way to change them? Because a theory is a theory. An idea is an idea until it's more concrete and proven. But you can prove it in a different way too. So this is just inspiration to, blow your mind, to make a difference. And it only takes, number 3, one person. It only takes one person to really, change an idea, change the way that we live, the way that we think about things. It only takes one person. And remember, it starts with the idea first. And then you have to start making observations, seeing what's real on that idea, what isn't, and start exploring that idea. Start exploring on what it is and how we can use it and implement it into our daily lives. So I hope this finds everybody well today. It is Friday. I hope you learned something today. And if this doesn't inspire you, I can't help you. And I don't think anybody else will. And you're going to not have a great life. You're just going to stay in your miserable way. Okay? Let this be inspiration for you. It only takes one idea and one person to change big things. So that's it for me today. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Listen to that tiny voice in your head. Remember that you can grab a free book, thehabitformulabook.com. You can also find the Lunchtime with the Habit Master shows on iTunes and Spotify. I usually upload them after we get done here live. And also check out my YouTube channel. I've got tons of other videos on there that help you with mindset, planning, and action steps to make your life the best possible. So you guys get started, think big, implement some ideas that you've been kicking around for years, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.